Good morning, students. I welcome you all for this session of today. How are you all? Hope you are doing fine. Preparing your lessons well. Written the half-yearly examination with sincerity and dedication. Yes. So we have come to this new year, and almost, if there is no lockdown, our portions must have been completed and by this time, and you will be running towards your practicals. But unfortunately, we are still proceeding with our lessons. But I feel that you don't have that seriousness towards your studies, children. See, that half-yearly examination paper I have been valuing, and I don't know, even now you don't have that seriousness. I'm really feeling very sad to say this. One boy's name is there at the top, grade 12, but it is written by a girl, very beautiful girl's handwriting. So we are just put to the pathetic situation of valuing your paper which you do not know anything. You are not at all aware of what is there. What is the question? What is the answer? Anyway, I don't want to say more. Right. The papers are valued. You will be getting the marks very soon. And many of you, the students, have copied from your friends. Maybe through this WhatsApp you might have got the answer, and when it comes to your screen, you may not be able to identify the correct letter, so you have just missed the spelling. Instead of yes you are writing R, instead of E you are writing L, all these things. So I could very well understand that you have just copied from your friends, and it is not your answer at all, right? Don't do it. It is just cheating yourself. It is cheating yourself. I could say very well that you have cheated yourself in the half-yearly examination. Anyway, hereafter, work hard, do your work sincerely with the annual examination in your mind, right? So last year, God's grace was with us, even amidst the troubles and tribulations that we have underwent. So this year also, just surrender yourself unto God to overcome the difficulties, pitfalls that we are going to face in our day-to-day life. So in the last class, I have been telling you about the supplementary reader, All Summer in a Day, written by Bay Bradbury. Here, children, we are on the way, I hope, and it is purely an imaginative story written by this author, that he just guessed how the life will be when people got a chance to live in Venus. And here, all the days it was raining. Only once in 2 years they could see the sun for, once in 7 years they could see the sun for 2 hours. Now, once in 7 years they could see the sun for 2 hours. And who is living in this Venus? The people who have just gone from our planet for some other purposes. They have found a place there and they are residing in Venus. Children, now in the classroom, the teacher was there and they were eagerly waiting for the arrival of sun after 7 long years. After 7 long years, they have been eagerly waiting for the arrival of sun. And so before that, say for example, the next day you are going for a picnic. Just imagine that you are going for a picnic. what all the things that you will be discussing in your class the previous day, at what time we have to get up, what all the dresses that I have to take, how much money I have to take, what all the snacks or eatables that I have to bring, where I have to do the shopping, what all the things I have to buy for my father, mother, brothers, sisters, grandparents, all these things you will be thinking one by one, and very well you will be just having all these details in your mind. Just like that, the children, after a long period, some children might not have even seen the sun in their life so far. So, because once in 7 years it is coming, and all the children are now 9 years old, I hope. So, before 7 years, once they have seen the sun, but at that time they were of 2 years old, so they may not be able to recognize and recollect or recall that what they have seen before 7 years. So they do not know how the sun is. And one among the students is a girl by name Margaret. I told you she was a little different from the other children because she knows about sun. She knows how sun is, what all the good things that we get from sun, the shape of it, the color of it, the hotness that we get from sun, all these things the girl knows very well. So when the other children were just imagining something about sun, she used to say from her own experience about sun very clearly, but the children, especially there is a boy by name William in her class, he is not ready to accept what this Margaret says. And at night they were dreaming about sun. In the bed also they were just sleeping, but they could not sleep because their thought is filled with the sun. And they imagined that sun is just like a coin, and just like a lemon, all these things. But this Margaret is totally just rejecting what the other children have said. So they were just having some hatred towards this girl because she is saying something which is unimaginable. But she says the truth. These children are not ready to believe her. So yesterday in the classroom they were reading something about the sun, and they were asked to write poems on sun. They were asked to write an essay on sun, and some children wrote that it is just like a flower that blooms once in 7 years. And when in the classroom, when the other children were doing some other activities, Margaret was always keeping quiet. She was not at all interested in, when they talk about sun or the solar system, about the cosmos, she is very much interested. And when she is asked to write something, she wrote a poem in the classroom. And her poem was read in a quiet voice in the still, calm classroom. And at that time, the rain slowly started to fall. One of the boys protested that what you have written is completely wrong. But she said, I have written correctly. This is what I know about sun. And she was very well aware of how the sun is, because while she was staying in Ohio, she enjoyed sun for a long time. When the teacher heard these two children shouting at each other, the teacher also shouted at them and called them just to keep quiet. All this happened yesterday. But today, the rain is decreasing, and slowly the light comes out. Sun just showed its way. Children all moved towards the window. They were eagerly waiting to see the sun. Margaret was standing alone in one corner. She was a very frail girl, as I said earlier, who looked as if she had been lost in the rain for years together. Now, the rain had washed out the blueness from her eyes and red from her mouth and yellow from her hair. She was just like a photo dusted from the album. Now she stood separate, staring at the rain and the loud, wet world beyond the huge glass. William asked Margaret, "What is there?" She did not speak because already there is some difference of opinion between Margaret and William. So she kept quiet. William pushed her to speak out, to open her mouth, but she is not ready to move even an inch. She would play no games. She did not write anything. While the other children were playing in the tunnels, she was just standing in one corner of the corridor, veranda. If they ran away, she will be standing there blinking like anything without following them. When they sing songs, she won't sing. But when they sing about summer or sun or something like that, they are very, very happy. She is very happy to join. She came here, as I said, only 5 years ago, and now she is 9 years. So 5 years ago means 4 years she has been living in Ohio in America. She remembers the sun very well, the way the sun, the sky, and when she was 4 years in Ohio, she could make out how the sun is. She came to Venus before 5 years. But the other children are in Venus for 7 years. Once they have seen it, as I said earlier, but they could not recognize it. They could not recall how the sun is, but she could recollect it since she was there till she becomes 4. Margaret has no other interest except the subject sun. She was a very lean, pale, thin girl. She was different from others. And since she knows the sun, she used to describe it. But the other children, they were not ready to listen to her. They used to tease her, torture her, and make fun of her, ridicule her for her views. When she speaks about the sun, they were just teasing her like anything. One day, while they were discussing like this, just on that particular day of the arrival of the sun, while they were discussing about the sun, in anger, in her hatred, all the children disagree with her opinion about sun, and that just pushed her, threw her in a dark room. And they came out and sat in the classroom. The teacher came. Maybe the teacher might not have recognized that this girl Margaret is missing. And at that time, the sun appeared. All the children were rushing outside to see the sun. But the teacher just told them not to go so far away because there will be some dangers if they go beyond the limit. So they were jumping and running here and there because of the heat of the sun. See, just you can imagine so far that past 7 years they have not seen the sun at all. Only they could experience the rain, the chillness, the cloudy climate. But now they have seen the sun. They are extremely happy, jumping with joy here and there. Their body got heated. After 2 hours again, it became dark and the rain stopped. Now, where is this our friend Margaret? She was there in the dark room. Everyone was very sad when the sun disappeared. That 2 hours they were enjoying like anything, because they could not see the sun. They did not see the sun so far in their life. So when they saw the sun, they were extremely happy. And when it disappears, they were very sad. So they returned to the class. And when they came back after seeing the sun, and when they were sitting in the classroom, one of the girls reminded about this Margaret. So at that time only they could recollect that they have put her in the dark room, and they forgot to take her out from that dark room. And at once they all rushed towards the dark room, and they pushed the door, and they could find that Margaret is sitting in the dark room, depressed. Because again, for 7 years, she is not going to see the sun. And the children let her free. And they were moving very happily. Here, the author, tells us that the children who does not know about the sun and its power refuses to believe it. The children who does not know about the sun and its power refuses to believe it when Margaret told them about sun, and how their body and mind is affected because they did not see the sun so far. So because they don't know about the sun, because they did not experience sun in their life, their body, mind, all got depressed. They are depressed totally. And that is why they have a peculiar behavior in the classroom. Because they did not see the sunlight. He said that the author, so here the story gets completed. That is, now the children all joined together, and they are very sad that after 7 years again they are going to see the sun. By the time they will become teenage children, boys and girls, and by 16 or 17 years they will be. And they are very, very sad to see the situation again, rain. And here the author, Ray Bradbury, brings out the idea through this story that sunlight is very much essential for a human living, for a healthy, happy living in this universe. Though we could say that we have landed in moon, we can just explore so many things the scientists are exploring so many things in their life, and just giving it to us to enjoy. We have not taken effort. Though we have taken effort, we find it that it is not possible to have our existence in any other planet except our Earth. So, the author brings out the fact that sun is an important factor of life. When the children saw the sun, their body and mind became pure and clean. That is why they have come to the normal level. They could recognize that they have put the girl in the dark room. They could understand that they have done a very great mistake in their life by throwing that girl for no reason in the dark room. And after experiencing the sun, when they experience sun, their skin, their body, their mind, their face, their whole body gets changed. And that is why they have just got that recognition that they have put her in the room and went to her and brought her back, and they have got the qualities like mercy, kindness, love towards that poor little girl. Because of that, they realized her. And when they realized that the girl is still in the dark room, they just got a feeling of guilt. And they just reconciled it by asking excuse to that girl, Margaret. Here the author brings out that the children who doesn't know about sunlight, refuses to accept what the girl who has known about the sun has told them. And he also brings out the idea that without seeing the sunlight, their mind gets depressed. They could not think well, they could not act well, and their mind and body got affected. And he very vividly gives a picture that how the children were affected by not seeing the sun. If you get time, read the text very carefully, you could understand how the children are suffering because they are not enjoying the sun. They have not seen the sun. So totally, altogether, what the author comes to say is, sun is one of the basic need of life. We cannot live in this world without the sun, without the sunlight, and without sunlight, without sun's light, you cannot live in this world. And he is saying that sun is the only main source for a human being to live in the world. And because of that sunlight, our body and our mind gets purified, and we are living in this world a healthy and happy life with normal thinking and appreciation, helping others, love, mercy, all these characters we are getting because we are enjoying sun. The sun has a vital role to play in the functioning of a human, not only human life, but living beings' life. And indirectly he says that the good qualities has got into the minds of the children after seeing the sun. That is why they have run back to the place where this girl is locked down. And because of that mercy, they relieved her from that lock. And afterwards, they felt sorry, guilt. They felt guilt in their mind, and they asked excuse to this girl for what they have done is wrong. Hope you have understood the story very well. Just go through it, children, and find out the minor details. And if you have any doubt regarding this, just rectify your doubts in the doubt clearing session that you have very soon in this week itself, I hope. Till then, bye, children.